All right, so welcome everybody to this training. This training is meant to prepare you to become a toilet paper distributor in your location. Most times I like to call us toilet paper entrepreneurs because that is what we are. So I want to show you, this is a training that I titled The Roadmap to Your First Million Selling Toilet Paper Rolls in Your Location. Now, a lot of people, whenever I bring this topic to the fore, they think it's not really possible to become rich selling toilet paper rolls in the market space. And I want to say that is a big lie. That's a big fallacy. I have seen not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. All right, I've seen quite a handful of millionaires who started from nothing. I mean, they started as apprentices, and today they have not only do they have their own family, they've married, they've bought a car, they've had shops for their wives, and they've built houses. All right, so I can tell you for sure that this is something that is possible. I've seen people who have done it, and I've studied their businesses, and I've found out that they have a pattern that you can also follow to become successful. So in this training, this is a bonus training to the formal training that I shared in my Telegram channel, where I taught in details how to move from zero to becoming a successful toilet paper entrepreneur selling and distributing toilet paper rolls in your location. So this is me adding more volume, adding more layer to what I have already taught in that particular class. And this is titled The Roadmap to Your First Million Selling Toilet Paper Rolls. So if you are ready to see the paths that you can follow and implement what I teach as quickly as you can achieve what I'm going to teach here, you would also get the result that these people have gotten, that is getting your own 1 million naira, not sales, but profitability, selling toilet paper rolls in your location or market. So if that excites you, I'm also excited because my objective is to make sure that I share profit potentials, profit-making potentials, money-making potentials to people who think that they need to get a white-collar job or do all sorts of things to make money. No. Toilet paper rolls are gold in papers, and I can tell you that because of the high demand that we have of these toilet paper rolls in the market space. Nearly everyone alive uses toilet paper rolls, whether you're a mother, a father, youngster, bachelor, spinster, student, you name it. So we all use toilet paper rolls at every point in our lives, and here is an industry that those that are inside do not want to share what I'm about to share with you today. So you pay attention, and if you have questions, of course, you ask me and see how you can move from where you are to your first million selling toilet paper rolls. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to show you today that would help buttress all that I've been talking to you about. Like I said, this is a bonus training that is meant to facilitate or enhance your growth on the other training that I provided. The other training is called Wipe Money, How to Get Rich Selling Toilet Paper Rolls. So this is just a module, a bonus that I felt like, okay, these guys may not know how to move from point A to point B. And I've designed this to take you from, wherever you may join us in the training and give you a roadmap that you can follow and achieve your first million selling toilet paper rolls in the market space. It's not a fluff, it's not a joke. If you follow what I've laid out here, you will hit the same targets as others have done over and over again. So let's get started. The roadmap to your first million naira selling toilet paper rolls in your location. Insider's guide. I've been in the toilet paper business, like I showed you in the other video, for quite a long time. This is over 8 years I've been in this industry as a manufacturer. So I know what my distributors push out there, and I know how much they sell and the returns they make on their investment. That is why I am an insider. And I can tell you for sure that this is one business that you should go into as quickly as you can. And it doesn't require much capital to get started. So without much ado, let's get started. Now, in the previous videos, I talked about the various customers that you have. And I picked a handful of them, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of them to buttress my point of how you can meet our target, which is 1 million naira in the market space. Not 1 million naira sales, 1 million naira profitability in the market space. And we're going to achieve that using 5 hotels, 5 supermarkets, 20 wholesalers, and 3 schools as our case study. Is that correct? So let's dive in and see how it works. Now, what I want to share with you here, I'm using you distributing one toilet paper roll as a case study, but you know this is not going to be the case. If you start selling toilet paper rolls in the market space, you can distribute up to 5 brands or 2 to 3 brands in the market space. Now, if you aggregate all the SKUs that you are selling, you never can tell what would happen in a month for you. You can sell a brand faster than the other one, depending on how fast they are selling in the market space. But for clarity's sake, I'm going to limit our SKU. What I mean by SKU is stock keeping unit, meaning that there are some products that have medium size and there are some have jumbo sizes. In the toilet paper industry, they usually have the jumbo size, the biggest size, and the medium sizes, then the small ones that hotels use before now. So those are called SKUs. So I would limit us to just one brand with 2 SKUs. One brand, let's say a Mecca toilet paper roll that has the jumbo size and the medium size. So these are the ones that we are going to use to make our case study of how you can move from where you are now to your first million selling toilet paper rolls in the market space. So first on the list is hotels. Now, depending on your location, it's quite easy for you to get 5 hotels. I mean, if you are selling toilet paper rolls in a place like Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, I mean, 5 hotels is the least you can go for. Now, the problem that I've seen in the market space is that most people who are distributors don't really make out time to prospect. Okay, they don't prospect in the sense that they are always seated in their shops hoping that people should come and buy from them, and that is not quite good. So, but you who have received the training from me in the other class, Wipe Money, I showed you how you can move from your house, or if you don't have a shop here, to reaching these other people and getting businesses from them. And that is one way you can beat the competition that is out there. So if you go to hotels, I've thought about how you can achieve prospecting in the other videos, so I'm not going to talk about it here. I'm just trying to let you know that you can get 5 hotels as your customers, and the minimum that these hotels can buy from you, and one professional advice I will give to you is don't go to any hotel that you see just because you think you can walk in there. No. Target the 5-star hotels, those big hotels that have upwards of 200, 300, 400 rooms. Those should be your targets and nothing less, because they are the highest consumers of toilet paper rolls, as you will see in my case study today. So you move into the hotel, and again, I'm going to use the barest minimum order that is available, all right? So let's say the one hotel orders 200 bags from you, all right? So 200 bags, you multiply that by 5 of them, that will give you 1,000 bags. Is that correct? Now, when you analyze this, you get to see what is happening here. Let's say that this hotel has 200 rooms, okay? And each of the hotels, they get basically 3 customers in a week. That's Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, that would fill up these rooms of theirs. Okay? Now, that translates to people being in that particular hotel for 600 times. Okay? If you are looking at 3 days framework. Now, if these rooms are filled each time they come lodge there for Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 times that they are lodging, they are consuming 3 times 200 rooms that they have there, which will give you 600 customers that would use the toilet paper roll that you supplied in that place. I'm trying to break it down for you so you see. Now, what does that mean for you? It means that you can sell, or if you supply them 200 bags, that in 1 week, if they have the 200 rooms filled up by just having 3 customers visiting that place, 3 days where they get the rooms to be filled up. I use this case study because I know that Wednesdays, midweek, businesses are quite a lot busier, and Fridays and Saturdays, anyone who lodges on Friday is most likely to lodge on Saturday. So I use that as a safe parameter to make this calculation. So that means in 3 days' time, the 200 rooms will be filled up, and the minimum consumption that you will get is 600 rolls of toilet paper rolls. Is that correct? Not 600 customers. That's not correct. 600 rolls. All right? Of course, 600 customers. Yeah, that's quite correct. So, because when you have these people staying for all the rooms. You have the rooms filled up in 3 days. That's 600 customers who visited that place. So what does that mean for you? It means that 200 bags of toilet paper rolls, which is equivalent of 2,400 pieces or rolls, as the case may be. So this number, you ask yourself, how soon can one hotel liquidate this? Remember that 600 rooms were filled in 1 week. All right. And if you have these 600 rooms filled in 1 week, multiply that by 4 weeks that we have in a month, you would see that you have 2,400 rolls completely used up in the hotel. That is not also to say that the other guest houses, people that work in the hotel, maybe they have toilets and all that, will not also be used. So it's likely that this number will be exceeded. All right. Now, if you have 5 hotels that you supplied 200 bags each, that amounts to 1,000 bags. Something I failed to point out when we started is that the minimum markup that you can have on each bag of toilet paper rolls is 200 naira minimum. What do I mean by markup? Let's say you bought 1 bag of toilet paper roll for 1,000 naira from the company, right? People like us, you bought 1,000 from us. Now, the minimum amount you can add on each SKU, meaning the medium and the jumbo size, is 200 naira, the minimum, considering what is happening in Nigeria right now. So that simply translates to, if you sell 1,000 bags to 5 hotels, what you would have made if you multiply your markup by those number of bags is simply 200,000 naira from those hotels minimum. Now, it is up to you to see if you can increase the number of hotels that you supply to based on what I taught in the Wipe Money class on how to prospect and get more people to onboard your distributorship business. So, having said this, those 5 hotels would potentially give you 200,000 naira in your bag if you supply them to 200 bags per month. Is that clear? So this calculation is to show you how they use it up and how you too can know that, okay, in this time frame, I should resupply them and go back to get their business. Now, that is for the hotels. 5 supermarkets, all right? Let's imagine that one purchases 2 SKUs from you. That's the medium size and the big size. Remember, I talked about the different sizes that you have. So let's also assume, and I've seen this happening. First SKU, the medium size, one hotel buys 50 bags. And they also add the big size to it. That's big 50, medium 50, making it 100 bags. Okay, so that means that each supermarket will buy 100 bags minimum, barest minimum. Like I said, imagine if you are in such cities like Port Harcourt, Delta, Bayelsa, Abuja, Lagos. I'm sure you can begin to see what I'm talking about. I'm using my state as a case study, and I know there are people who buy more than this number monthly from the open market. So imagine when you come to them and tell them that you can supply to them at good rates in their supermarket. So using this as our case study, and you are having sorry, this is not the proper markup. The markup should be 100 bags by the 200 naira minimum markup that I talked to you about. So if each supermarket buys 100 bags from you and you are marking up 200 naira per bag, that means you get to make 20,000 naira from one supermarket. This is the barest minimum that you will get, 20,000 naira from one supermarket. So if 5 of them, you supply 5, like I said, I'm using a very conservative figure so that people will not say, oh, this is not realistic. I'm using a very, very conservative figure because I know people buy more than this, and you can supply over 10 supermarkets depending on your hunger, depending on how aggressive and your hunger to sell in the market space. I taught about all that in my Wipe Money class. So this is just a bonus to the icing on the cake to show you the roadmap to that first million that you may desire. So if 5 of these people buy from you, you are going to have 100,000 naira. That's 20,000 times 5 supermarkets that you supply to. Again, this is not sales. It is basically what? Your profits. All right? So 5 supermarkets will give you 100,000 naira. 5 hotels will give you 200,000 naira. Already you have 300,000 naira in your pockets just by distributing to 5 hotels and 5 supermarkets, the minimum. Now, Let's go to the cross of the matter, the wholesalers. These are the people that buy. Remember, in the supply chain for a toilet paper brand, there is the producer or manufacturer who now sells to distributors like you, and then you now sell to wholesalers. Wholesalers will now sell to retailers. You, the other person, goes to the market to buy from the retailers. The retailers are the shop owners, the kiosk owners, the bookies, and all the people who own one kiosk or the other out there. So wholesalers are your biggest customers. Like I said, you can sell to as many number of them as possible. And I'm making this assumption, believing that you don't have a shop yet. If you have a shop of your own in a strategic part of the market space, this number is just a mirror. It's small. You can do these sales in a day. All right. Now, I'm also believing that you don't have a shop, so you are going to supply them yourself. Here is how it goes. If you have 20 wholesalers, each of them buying just 200 bags from you, again, the 200 bags is divided by the 2 SKUs, the medium size and the big size. All right? Now, if they buy 100 big and 100 small, that makes it the 200 that each of them can buy in a month. Again, this is the barest minimum that I'm giving you. So 20 wholesalers that you have, that you're supplying 20 bags, would give you 4,000 bags in a month. Now, if you multiply the minimum markup that you are selling to these people again, you will discover that you are making 800,000 naira in the market space. Is that correct? Now, let's do something again. If peradventure we just change this figure, let's say you are conservative, all right, and you don't want to sell at 200 naira because of competition. But like I told you, in the market space, there are lots of competition out there, and everything is changing. So people are adding prices to the price of toilet paper roll that they sell. So if you peradventure sell at a price less than 200, let's say 150, for example, you still be making 600,000 naira from these 20 distributors that you have here. Maybe you want to just use penetration pricing to bring them in, and you don't want to sell at 200 naira markup to them. So you will still have 600,000 naira from these people, 20 wholesalers who you supply to. And if you add 600,000 plus 100,000 naira here, you're having 700,000 naira. If you add it to the 200,000 naira you are getting from your hotels, you are having 900,000 naira just by selling toilet paper rolls. And I am assuming this is just one product. Now imagine when you are selling for 2 distributors, or no, when you are selling for 2-3 companies out there, what that will translate to. All right. So we've done the math of showing you how you can get to supply your wholesalers minimum of 200 bars per month, which is very possible, depending on how buoyant your market is, how robust where your market, where people who sell toilet paper. If in Onitsha, this number is just it's a child's play. In Lagos, it's a child's play. Abuja, Port Harcourt, these are all practical. Even in my states, it's quite possible. All right. Now, depending on your ruggedity, on your doggedity, and how hungry you are, you can double this number. If you prospect like a wounded lion, using the strategies I taught you in the White Money class, you can hit this number as quickly as your strength can carry you. So let's go to the final one, schools. Now, like I said, for the hotels, you need to target schools that have the population, that have numbers, right? Most schools who have a combo of maybe primary and secondary school, or who have quite a number of pupils or students in their kitchen. So the minimum they can buy from you in a month, I'm using the barest minimum, is 100 bags. Okay. Now, if 3 schools buy 100 bags from you, that means in a month you can supply 300 bags. And like I said, you can't tell me that there are only just 3 schools in your location, and you can't tell me there are no big schools in your location. That is not true. But again, I'm using a very conservative figure so you can see how practical this thing is, how you can realize it. Now, with the schools, you don't need to reduce your markup. You need to use the same markup, because if you allow them to go to the market space, they would buy at high rates, plus they will have to transport it back to their warehouses or to their schools. Let's talk about the probability that the person who may go to buy may add money and all that. When you are selling, you can now use this to make the school buy directly from you, see reasons why they should buy from you. So if you are selling at 200 naira per bag, you see that from those 3 schools who bought a total of 300 bags from you, you are making a profit of 60,000 naira just from 3 schools. So let's bring it all together. Let's wrap it up. 5 hotels gives you 200,000 naira. 5 supermarkets will give you 100,000 naira. If you go for 20 wholesalers selling at 200 naira, you would get 800,000 naira. If you choose to sell at 150, you make 600,000 naira. All right. So when you add everything up, this is the figure you get. This is the figure that you get. And it is quite exciting. And I used the conservative numbers: 5 hotels, 5 supermarkets, 20 wholesalers, 3 schools. You can increase these numbers exponentially depending on your hunger, depending on your location, and your selling skill. So tell me how this is not possible in the market space. I've seen it happen. One of my customers, there was a time he supplied not my own brand, because I didn't produce the SKU that he supplied at university. He supplied 1,200 bags of tissue paper to one university here in Owerri. Okay, so this is the potential of the market, and it is just for the taking. All that is needed is me guiding you on, opening your eyes, guiding you to see what others are doing out there. When you see toilet paper, don't just walk past it thinking it's just toilet paper. These are golds. People are selling golds in paper, and they are making it big in the market space. So I want to get you excited. I want to show you this roadmap. It's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. If you go out there and sell this to this particular number of people that I just gave you the figures, at 200 naira markup, you will hit this figure and nothing will stop you from getting it. So this is the blueprint I've given to you. Nobody will show you what I've shown you here, but because I want you to succeed, Nigeria is tough. Any way you can help somebody to find his footing, you do that. So that wraps up this training, and I hope you get to work with it, and I hope you get the hunger that I anticipate you would have, and run with this vision to making your first million selling toilet paper rolls in the market space. Have a nice day.